was tagged by Robbie over at Frekifitwolf to do a this or that tag. It's a Tuesday tag that was started by Tracy over at Trials of a Longhaired Girl. She does these tags on Tuesdays and she tags people. I've noticed the system working that she usually always tags Kim over at Girl on Her Phone, who then tags Dish with D and Jones Pointed Plate. And sometimes she tags Robbie, and Robbie always tags me, or I always tag Robbie. So I love doing tags. It's fun. I just love it. It gets to, you get to know a little bit more about us. But oh, I should show you my shirt. It says, "I'll fight you with my bare hands," and then the deer goes, "Oh dear." I love shirts with sayings on it. But anyway, I have the questions down here. I'm going to answer them. This is a random entertainment tag, this or that. So let's get started. Let's see how I answer. Movie at home or movie at the theater? Okay, let's face it. It's going to be a while before we go back to the theater. It really is. But I would prefer... And now this depends. For the most part, I would say 99% of the time, I would prefer to go to the theater. The 1% is when you see a movie, because Jim and I, when we go to the show, when we watch the previews, we always go, cable. And a cable movie means it's a good looking movie. It really is, but it doesn't look like it's worth spending any money on at the theater. We'll wait, since we're paying a subscription to HBO or Showtime or Stars or something like that. We'll wait till it gets to the TV. But... I do find that if you really want to get the full enjoyment out of a movie, like Signs with Mel Gibson and, what's his name? River Phoenix's brother. Joaquin Phoenix. That's a movie I think should have been watched at the show. I've watched it on TV, and I don't know if it's just because I've seen it before, but it has more of a kick when you see it in person at the theater. I also, last weekend, Jim and I watched... Greyhound with Tom Hanks on Apple. No, not so much. I mean, I think that if we would have been in the theater and would have... Now, we have a surround sound system, but we don't have a movie theater surround sound system, if you know what I mean. And I think it kind of lost a lot. It really did lose a lot in the just showing it on TV. But obviously, it can't. The theaters aren't open. At least in Michigan, our theaters aren't open. And so that's what we're going to do. Long answer, I know. Number 2, console gaming or PC gaming? Well, I've never done the PC gaming, but I remember back in the day, the console gaming. I used to love my favorite one was Centipede. Oh, I could sit there for hours and hours. My kids would go to bed and I'd be there with that little thing going, shooting them all down. And I also like when you went to the arcade to play Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. Those were my favorites. But then you hated hearing them when you lost. But, you know, I love that. I just love that. And my kids, for Christmas, not this past year, but the year before, had got me from Bed Bath & Beyond the Atari, because I liked the Atari, was another one of my favorites. And it had the games on it, but not the same. As we say in my family, close, similar, not the same. Movie line, what movie? Answer in the comments below if you know. Number 3, card game or board game? I love a board game. We have like a whole closet full of board games. And when we used to have our family dinners, remember that back in the day? Family dinners? Well, we used to have them every week. We haven't had them this year at all. But I shouldn't say that this year at all. We had them up until February and then it was done. But we would play games afterwards. We'd play Family Feud, Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly. I don't know. There's so many. There's a lot. There's a lot we played, but really the only card games that we play are Jim and I play euchre with Bertie, which is Jim's sister, and her significant other Ron. We used to go over there all the time and play euchre. We used to play pinochle a lot, but I don't like playing pinochle, especially if Jim's my partner, because Jim always wants the bid, and he'll bid no matter what just to get the bid, and then he'll never make it because he's bid too high. But if I had to pick, I'd say a board game. Board games or video games. Now, in this sense, I'd pick the video games. I play so many games on my phone. I play Word Feud, Words with Friends, Word Scramble, Trivia Crack, And I do a Sudoku every once in a while. And I do a Scrabble online. But I do like the games on my phone. I play those a lot. TV shows or movie? Now, I'm going to say a TV show because I am like hooked. My favorite, which has now been canceled, was Criminal Minds. Kim, you and I are together on that one. Kim over a Girl on Her Phone, that was one of her favorite shows too. But I do like, I think it's on Wednesday nights. Yeah, Wednesday nights is the whole Chicago thing. We start off with Chicago Med, we go to Chicago Fire, and then we end up with Chicago PD. I do like those. We do like all the Law and Order ones that we watch. Of course, we like all of the like Amazing Race, Survivor, Big Brother. You know, we like those game shows too. I don't like corny ones. I don't like Match Game. I like the Match Game from the past. Now the Match Game now, they think that they have to be provocative or dirty or, you know, and I am not a prude by any means. If you could hear me talk in real life, you would know I am not a prude by any means. But I censor myself when I'm on here because it's like I don't want to offend people. But I think that they got to come up with some kind of a sexually related answer on every single question. And I don't know. I just think it gets kind of old. But anyway, mine would be TV shows. Well, you know, in a nutshell. Television or book? I don't know what they mean by that. If it means like, would I rather watch television than read a book? No, well, I have my seasons because in the summer, I would say from June until probably October, I read voraciously. I'm reading constantly. And that's because I don't like being in the house. I want to be outside. So I go outside. Now, with that being said, we do have a mount outside on our deck that we can put a TV screen out there. And there have been times when baseball season was that Jim would bring the TV out and hook it onto there because we have like a little lightweight, small little, I think like a 30, is it a 30 inch or 24 inch? It's just a small TV that he would bring out there and he would sit on the deck and watch the ball game. But I just love to read in the summer. But the rest of the year, I'm going to watch television. Hands down, I'm going to watch television because my DVR is always full. I've always got something on my DVR. Book version or movie version? I like the book version because I think it's a little bit more detailed. When we went to see The Godfather, when I was watching the movie, I thought, how can anybody follow this movie that didn't read the book? Because the book went into so much more detail. And, of course, the person behind me was telling everybody, and Jim was getting so aggravated because he didn't read the book. Because, like, spoiler alert, in case you didn't see the movie, when the horse's head was going to be in the bed, the lady behind us, so she was always saying stuff, and she'd say, whatever you do, look out, because there's going to be a horse's head in the bed. And then the next scene, the horse's head would be in the bed. So, I mean, she was ruining it for whoever she was with. Which reminds me of another funny story. I gotta go off. My friend Ron went with his partner to go see The Last of the Mohicans. And when it was out, it was like a really popular movie, and it was on in all the theaters. And they were running a little bit late. And then they got to into the show, and they were kind of confused. They didn't know what was going on. And so, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear the ending of this movie, which is an old movie. But when they're having their final confrontation on top of the mountain, and they're swinging the axe and the knife and the machete and all that, having the big fight, which is the end of the movie, The Last of the Mohicans at that point. Ron was just so confused, and so he tapped the person in front of him, and he says, I'm a little late to the show. Could you please tell me what's happened so far? And the guy just looked at him like, are you crazy? He said, this is the end of the movie. Shut up. And so then they did the end of the movie, which was like within 5 minutes. And then everybody got up and left, and that was when he realized he was in the wrong theater. So he just waited, got his money back, and went in another time to see the movie. Crossword puzzles or Sudokus? Now, I've just really figured out how to do Sudoku. I, like one of these, didn't know. I thought that, like, I know that comes like in, well, the one I do has 9 boxes. I thought that you had to get all three boxes on each one all lined up perfectly. And it wasn't until I realized that each little box is separate that I started doing a little bit better. I'm not a whiz at it. I do love it. I hate, sorry Tracy, hate a word search. I hated those when you had in school and you had to find the words, or when my kids got them for a homework assignment and you'd sit there thinking, and then they would be struggling and I would say, you got to keep looking, as I'm looking too to try to help them along, and I couldn't find it either. I hate them. I hate word searches. Big party or small gathering? I get more out of a small gathering. Now, granted, when I was in high school, you wanted to go to a big party because that meant it was a success. I had a party in my basement, and a friend of mine was just starting a band, and I had invited 25 people to come to my party. And the band let people know that they were having a party, and the party people let the other people know they were having a party. But my parents were home. But I ended up probably with almost 100 kids at my party. I was pretty popular. But now, I wasn't popular in that sense. I mean, in the fact that I had a party and there was 100 people at the party. Everybody went, did you go to Sandy Manning's party? She had 100 people. She had so many people. We were outside and everything. It was so much fun. Of course, after that, my mother never let me have another party. I never had another. Not that she would deprive me of a party, but she just kept saying, well, you can't have a band. We're going to make sure you only have so many people. There's so many people. And I thought, I didn't want to be embarrassed, so I just didn't have a party. So we went to my girlfriend, Mary Case. She had parties. She had parties all the time. So, but anyway, to answer the question, I like a small gathering because I think it's a little bit more intimate. You can talk to people a little bit more and a little bit more one-on-one. I think you can get, at a big party, you can kind of get lost in a big party because you have too many people to talk to. Especially like a wedding, when you have to make a point of sitting at table to table to table to talk to everybody, and you can only talk for so long because then you look rude if you'd have ignored somebody else. Small gathering, in a nutshell. Video games or phone games? Phone games. I play my phone all the time. My phone is always constantly needing to be charged because I'm on my phone so much. But anyway, I should have started the video off saying who I was going to tag. I usually do that, but did I do that? No, I don't think I did. Boy. I don't know if they're going to do it. Maybe they didn't make it all the way to the end. Hopefully they made it all the way to the end. Please. I'll know if they watched my whole video now. There's a method to my madness. I am going to tag Suzanne at Suzannes WW Life, Kathy at Kathy's WW Journey, and Valerie Reese over at Valerie Reese. So those are the 3 people I'm going to tag. I can't believe I didn't do it at the beginning. That's just so unlike me. I'm a rebel. And I'll never be any good. I'm a rebel and you know blah blah. It's a song. I don't know who it's by. But from my teenage years, so many songs. And you look back at those songs now and they just seem so trivial. And they all had to have a boyfriend. It's like they couldn't exist if they didn't have a boyfriend. You know, it's like, it's a whole new world. All right, she says, Sandy, stop singing. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. As you can see, I'm kind of wacky. Leave a like button, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, share if you think somebody might like to see it. And looking forward to seeing everybody else's tags. Thank you, Tracy, for doing the tags, starting them, and thank you, Robbie, for tagging me. And I'm hoping to see Suzanne, Valerie, and Kathy do their tags too. So thanks a lot. Stay safe. Talk to you guys on my daily vlog.